What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Twins Talk Therapy. Before we get too far into this video, I just want to remind everybody to please... Are you done? Please like the video, click the subscribe button, and click on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we release a new video. So now let's get into how to properly strengthen your core.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to go over some of the anatomy of the core muscles. So starting, most popular, people know about the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles, but then the core also includes the external obliques, the internal obliques. Transverse abdominis makes up the front core muscles. Then when we look at the back, you have your QL muscle, which connects your rib cage to the spine / your pelvis. We have the rotatory muscles in the spine that are in between the vertebrae. You have iliopsoas, which is a combination of two hip flexors, which helps with trunk flexion, as well as rectus abdominis helps with trunk flexion. You're thinking rotatory muscles are side to side, that's internal, external obliques, and the rotatory muscles in between the vertebrae. And then the glutes are also the foundation of the core when you're talking about support for the core, thinking of the spine. So when we talk about true core strength, we're asking, do you really know how to strengthen your core? The reason why we say that is most people think of concentric contractions when we're talking about strengthening muscle. So in a bicep curl, this would be a concentric contraction. For rectus abdominis, we all know crunches and sit-ups, that would be a concentric contraction. But more force is produced in an eccentric contraction, which would be doing a dumbbell curl. The lowering of the weight produces more force in the bicep. With the rectus abdominis, stopping yourself from going backwards produces more force in those rectus abdominis than doing a crunch. So Aaron's going to come in and show us how to eccentrically strengthen our core. All right, so to strengthen eccentrically the core, there's a few exercises that we can do that many of you probably have never seen. So we'll get into those right now, Aaron. First, we're going to do a forward stepping lunge, bringing arms overhead. This is eccentrically going to contract the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles. And true rectus abdominis strength is how well can you decelerate motion and extension. You want that full arcing motion getting into extension, and you want your rectus abdominis to get used to decelerating that extension motion, because that's where true stability comes with the core. And Aaron can take an angle to the left when he steps with his left foot, getting different angles. So next we're going to work on internal and external obliques, which is the rotational core muscles. So to decelerate, we're going to go into rotation, and we want that eccentric contraction to decelerate the rotational motion. So Aaron, go ahead and do some rotational deceleration exercises for working internal and external obliques. Good. And then you could do the same thing to the other side to get the other side. And you guys can watch this video a couple times to learn those motions, make sure you're doing it right. Feel free to rewind and watch the video as many times as necessary to make sure you're doing it correctly. Okay, so those are a few exercises that work deceleration or the eccentric contraction for the core. So next, we're going to have Aaron do some bandit exercises for the core. So he can go arm to opposite hip in a rotation fashion, and that'll get some concentric contraction of the core. But again, we want to work rotation because the transverse plane or the rotation plane is our most dynamic range of motion in our body. And if we can increase motions in the transverse plane, it's going to trump all others.
And one thing with this exercise is not only are you going in a concentric fashion and a rotational motion, but you want to let this band bring your arm back and again eccentrically load those rotation muscles of the core, and just let that band stretch the spine and go into extension to increase mobility in the thoracic spine. And really this exercise, all I'm doing is trying to apply a little bit of rotation and think elbow of the hand elbow of the arm with the band in it towards the knee that's lunged forward on the opposite side, and then letting that band go back. So if I had more space, I would step out further to allow this band really pull me into rotation back. But those are a few exercises to help eccentrically load the core stability muscles. All right, guys, that wraps up this video. Before we end, I want to inform everyone that these eccentric loading exercises for the core muscles were taught to us by Lynn and Ann Teachworth through Trunamics. They developed a new system combining a couple methods, including the Franklin method, as well as the Gray Institute school of thought with proper biomechanics of the body. So go check them out. We will link their information in the description below this video.
As always, guys, if you like what you see, please subscribe to our channel, and also hit the like button and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we post new videos. If you guys want us to cover something particularly, please email those requests to twinstalktherapy@gmail.com. And thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.